Hello, the internet, and welcome to another episode of Enter the Popverse. I am Ashley Victoria Robinson, your video producer and host here in the Popverse. If you didn't know, or of course, the Popverse is a virtual realm created by ReadPop, where we are celebrating the best in TV, movies, and comics. And for the full Popverse experience, be sure to check out our website right there at thepopverse.com, where we feature all kinds of fun stuff like what we're talking about here today and some stuff that we don't have the time to get to. While you're over there, be sure and get yourself a Popverse membership. Woo, they are so cool. I am a Popverse member. You are going to want to be a Popverse member. That gets you access to a ton of exclusive content, a ton of fun convention editions, and so much more. So please make sure that you go over and check that out. Why is this another recorded episode, Ashley? I hear you screaming from your side of the Popverse to my side of the Popverse. Well, my friends, if you remember last week, I let you know that in Los Angeles, Team Popverse, aka me, Ashley Victoria Robinson, I am actually at DragCon LA today. So I am in Los Angeles covering RuPaul's DragCon. So we have a fun presentation for you today. But if you're coming down to DragCon this weekend, please make sure and say hi to me, wave. We're having a super fun, happy time. And for the live stands, we will be back next week. Okay, it's been going on for a while. There's a lot that needs to be explained. Let's get into what this writer's strike means in Los Angeles. What does it mean for the entertainment industry? How is it affecting the world outside of Los Angeles? A lot of people may remember past writer's strike, including when Jesse Plemons killed that guy in Breaking Bad and the big one that went on in 2008. So I want to bring to you what this means, and I cannot do that without my fabulous unintentional, accidental, unofficial co-host, Graeme McMillan. So please join me in welcoming Graeme to the show. Welcome back, Graeme. It's been ages since you and I talked here on Enter the Popverse. I'm so happy to have you back.
Is this the third episode in a row I'm on of the third time back from your break?
Yes, you are 3 for 3. And you're, I think, the only person from Team Popverse I've had back in these 3 weeks.
So, you're welcome.
The favoritism.
You're welcome, viewers.
She's show. Look, they said break it up with delightful accents, please. And so here you are.
Oh no, you've been shortchanged. Delightful accents.
So, Graeme, we are here today to unspool a difficult issue, which is what I like to bring you on to do, to explain to people. The writer's strike is going on right now. The WGA has struck in Hollywood. Everybody on Twitter is melting down. What does this mean? Because I think there's a lot of people who might be watching this who are regular Popverse readers, viewers, listeners, etc., who are maybe not as aware of like what the WGA does and what does it mean when they go on strike, because obviously TV shows are still coming out, TV shows are still being made. What is happening?
I mean, what is happening is that writers are hopefully going to get what is due to them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, perhaps a bit political to say that, but they're on strike because there was no new agreement essentially made to keep writers working past the end of May 1st. The main stumbling blocks were revenue from the sort of rerunning shows, but also revenue from streaming, I think, is really the biggest one. But there's some other things in there that were interesting. The WGA, which is the Writers Guild of America, asked for essentially protection from AI. Asked for some sort of safeguard to be put in that AI would not come in and take everyone's jobs. And the producers more or less were like, no, but we will give you an annual seminar about what AI can do, which was an amazing, own goal there. It's kind of amazing that they didn't even go yes to that one. But streaming is a big deal. The writers are not, again, apologies for being fairly political and showing which side of the argument I'm on here. Writers are not fairly compensated for streaming television. The contracts that were set up before, which was, I think, 2008. I think I'm right in saying that.
Yeah.
Did not reflect the reality of television as it exists today, and people are not properly compensated. And you just need to look at what was happening with HBO last year. The shows being not only cancelled, but just removed wholesale.
Yes, entirely.
To show that, writers who might have relied on those shows for income, might have relied on those shows to prove that they'd even worked, for all the time, suddenly we're just vanished into a memory hole. and there was nothing set up to safeguard them at all. So it's a big issue, and I think one of the things that really shows it's a big issue is the writers are striking, but they're supported by the Screen Actors Guild, they're supported by the Directors Guild, they're supported by the musicians union
And
as
the
well, and the
Teamsters.
Teamsters. But it is like, it's not just the writers who are saying, this is bad. Basically, everyone outside of the producers are saying, we need a safeguard in this. We need someone to acknowledge that this is an issue. And that's not happened. So yeah, midnight 01 on May 2nd, the strike started, and we'll see how long it goes.
I also, for anybody who's like not in the entertainment industry and doesn't like cover the entertainment industry in depth, the Teamsters union is one of the most powerful, important unions in all of the entertainment industry. So like, yes, you can joke about like the type of person who tends to be a Teamster and whether or not they may be physically imposing it, but like the Teamsters backing them is truly, as a
It's a big
Screen
deal.
Actors Guild member, is huge. Like it was like the Vince McMahon meme where he's like, and then he gets red, was like, and the Teamsters join. Like that is so accurate.
And they didn't just give a sort of mild, we're in agreement. They gave a fairly full-throated agreement
Yes.
to what the writers are asking. So it shows that everyone is taking this seriously, arguably with the exception of the producers.
Yeah, of the people who were being asked to be at the negotiating table. Also, stuff like this doesn't just happen in a bubble. I mean, you and I think have known about this for at least 6 months, or that something like this was brewing. So when I see a lot of hot takes that this is people being selfish, people who are already being paid a lot of money, asking for more money. When you can point to things like writers have not had a cost of living raise since 2005 in Hollywood. And in 2008, the reason that they went on strike, if anyone doesn't know, was for DVD rights. Was how were they compensated for things like DVDs and the emerging Blu-ray market? It's literally the same reason they're striking now, which is how are you compensated for streaming? Because the Screen Actors Guild, which I'm a member of, one emailed us to say go picket in solidarity with them. So we're backing them about as hard as we can with our broken emotional souls. And secondly, it's also for actors, it's a huge thing of like, well, where are our residuals for streaming? Because as a gigging actor, so as that guy in that thing who you see show up in one episode maybe 3 times a year, you used to be able to make a living doing that on cable. Now you can't do that in streaming. So I am super interested to see how long this goes on, because I wonder if it takes a long time like it did in 2008, if the rest of us are going to fall in a row. Because right now things can go into active production without the writers.
But also, one of the things that, literally to what you're talking about, both the Directors Guild and Screen Actors Guild are also up for renegotiation. The Directors Guild starts this month, and Screen Actors next month, and those contracts run out June 30th.
Yeah.
So if this is not sorted out within 2 months, that's a problem. That's literally going to shut down basically all movie and television scripted production.
Yeah, and the last strike went for 100 days.
Yeah, which was not nothing, and caused a lot of trouble for the networks at the time. That wasn't the longest of the strikes, right?
No, I do know that, but it was a longer one because there was also like a shorter. There was a little baby strike in between, technically.
Yeah.
But that is, in recent memory, I think for a lot of people, my generation and older, like we remember that very, like I remember Battlestar Galactica coming out in 2 parts and being truly devastated by it. And then HBO and AMC just adopted like, now here's the second half of Breaking Bad, and here's the second half of Breaking Call Saul, Better Call Saul. As like, it became this awards grab thing that initially started, at least in my memory, because of the writer's strike.
One of the things that's funny is you're seeing people who are complaining about the strike, looking back to that 2007, 2008 strike and saying things like, well, that's what caused, the reality show boom.
That's not true.
Not true. Exactly. When you look at the dates, reality was already big by that point.
Survivor is 2000?
99, maybe.
So, and Survivor, of course, yes, did not invent reality television, but I think maybe popularized it for the masses.
I think for in terms of like the US, Survivor is pretty much ground zero.
I mean, it's either that or The Real World.
Wow.
Judd Winnick's The Real World.
Was he on the first season?
The first or the second, him and Pedro, yeah.
Oh man, now I feel old. I remember watching that when
I
it
know
was
you wrote a
airing.
comic about it. Also, if you've not read my friend Pedro, that is like absolutely recommended reading comic book homework. You simply must. You must.
But no, like reality shows were big prior to the strike, and it's become this weird thing where people are like, well, they are just selfish for doing this, or like it's going to cause a downfall of television, and that's not true. Like
No.
that's blatantly untrue. What this is going to do is it's going to make for better television because the
Mhm.
writers are, strangely enough, going to be able to spend time making shows better.
Mhm.
Do you know what I mean?
But
They're not going to have to, write everything as quickly as humanly possible, or you have a lot of people who, are just getting into the gig now in order to replace striking writers, and the shows are not great. Like I was surprised looking back at 2007, 2008 one, that the soap operas, the broadcast soap operas, just went with non-union writers.
yeah,
They stayed off air for like a small amount of time, and then like, nope, we're just going to get other people in, but they're not unionized, so we're just going to use them.
I
And like
will
that's
I will caution anyone who's thinking about doing that because the WGA in particular does have rules in place where if you do certain things during this time, you will be banned from joining them, which is a hard thing to do to people who are already not under your protections. But then big studio systems are going to be taking advantage of people trying to break in at the same time.
one of
It's a tough line.
well, that's just it. Like one of the things I saw when the strike was announced, like when I actually said like we're doing it.
Yeah. At
Um,
8:30 last night, they were big mad. They didn't even wait till midnight last night,
oh
California
no,
time.
they fully went out and were like, it's happening, let's go.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of people I saw immediately in social media basically saying, you're going to get invited. Like, if you are you a novelist, are you a comic writer, are you a
Yeah.
writer and everything? You're going to get invited to write for television, and you shouldn't. Like, this is a bad idea if you actually have ambitions to write in television or write for movies in the future, because this is going to hit you down the line.
Yeah.
Like you might think this is your big break, and it is very much not.
The flip side of that is two things. I have a friend who is a book agent, and she said that she likes when things like this happen because a lot of people take amazing ideas and they write their novels for the first
Mhm,
time with them and they
mhm,
solicit them.
mhm.
And then another friend of mine who is a comic book artist tweeted, I had 5 people reach out to me already trying to pitch a comic. So like it's not across the board, it's not great. There's gonna be a lot of people out of work, which is not good in a field and with a guild that has limited safety protections.
Mhm.
Um, but there is a chance that we get a lot of great things out of publishing in the next year, 18 months as a
Well,
result.
and also ideally, if if things go well, television writers are going to be better off at the end of it. And movie,
100%.
I should say, like movie writers as well. We're talking about television, but like this also impacts
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah.
But there's going to be better protections. There's going to be hopefully more money in there, because as much as it's easy to think that people who work for movies and television are making the money,
Mhm.
the majority of them aren't. The
Also, the majority of them
majority of
work
them,
one job a year.
yeah, like the majority of them are really not making a lot of money.
Yeah.
And especially if, people who write in comedy rooms or things like that are really not. And writing comedy for streaming is a very non-lucrative uh,
Yeah.
thing right now. So the upside of this is great. It's just that it's not going to be a lot of fun for anyone getting there.
I would love to ask you before I make you plug your Twitter and let you go. How long do you think the strike's going on for?
I'm in two minds. I
Okay.
know you think that it's going to be long.
I do think she's going to be a long one. Yeah.
I think that it's either going to be a long one,
Mhm.
or the the trade alliance of the producers are going to look at the fact that they might also get Screen Actors Guild and the Directors Guild striking at the same time, and they might blink. I think there's a
Oh,
possibility that they legitimately might go, oh, this could be very bad, and blink.
the
I
the
don't know,
socialist in me
because
like
again,
really wants it.
the last one went on for 100 days.
Yeah, long
No,
time.
so it's very possible that they are just going to try and wait them out.
Mhm.
We'll see.
We
We
will
will
see.
see.
Okay, Graham, if people want more hot takes from you, more context, and they want me to be able to get up and let my cat inside because he's scratching the door, where can they find you on Twitter?
Go and get your cat, first of all. I'm on Twitter at Graeme at Graemem. I'm on the internet at the Popverse, which is exactly right here.
And Graham, I'm gonna put this to you right now. We're back live next week. Will you be joining us live next week?
Are you going to invite me? Because I can't just break into this thing.
Yes. So we will see you live next week. Thank you.
Until then, bye.
Thank you, Graeme, so much for your insights, so much for joining us, so much for your humor and your grace. We always have a great time here. I feel smarter every time Graeme comes and joins us, and I know a lot of people watching do too. Okay, so I thought it'd be fun if we shifted gears. We've done a lot of comics talk, and we do some comics movies talk. So on April 25th, the Justice League Rwby crossover released. When I was at WonderCon, I was actually lucky enough to see the movie early, to interact with the cast and some of the crew. So I want to share those videos with you right now. There's nothing super spoilery in here, but the movie is 2 weeks old. So we are past the Vince Gilligan. A lot of Breaking Bad references for me today, considering I've never watched the show. We are past the Vince Gilligan 2-week mark. So please enjoy these exclusive interviews with me and the cast and creators of Justice League Rwby. Hi, this is Ashley Victoria Robinson coming to you live from the Popverse here at WonderCon. I am about to go chat to the cast of Justice League Rwby. And I also asked all the cast and crew to describe the plot of Justice League Rwby in 3 words or less.
I'm Lindsay Jones. I play Ruby Rose, who is the team leader of Team Rwby.
I'll do 2. Constantly smiling.
As Wonder Woman, I think that she, confused is a good word for this movie, agitated, and vulnerable. And my experience on this film has been ecstatic, curious, and just, grateful.
She does a lot.
Amazing!
I'm here? Surprise!
Eye-opening, is that one?
Yes, it is.
Challenging and surprising.
Unsure to sure. Adaptability, strength, and teamwork.
Cyber's journey in this movie. Difficult.
That's the perfect no spoilers answer.
Learnable. Easier.
Heartfelt, fun explosions.
My dearest darling friends, thank you for joining us for another episode of Enter the Popverse. As always, if you want anything more from the videos, the social posts, the articles, or anything else that we referenced in this video, all of the links are down in the show notes, down in the description, so that you can get yourself the fullest experience that I have brought you today. Thank you again for joining us here in the Popverse, which is a virtual realm created by ReadPop with me, Ashley Victoria Robinson. I always love having you here with me, friends. For the full Popverse experience, of course, don't forget to go visit thepopverse.com. And while you're over there, why not pick up a cute little membership so that you can get the full Popverse experience and you never miss out on a single cool thing that we are over here creating. We are working so hard to bring you as much cool, fun, exciting content as possible. Friends, very exciting. Next week, we are back to the live show format. We have an amazing guest already booked. You're going to have a super fun, happy time. We're going to be able to bring your chats back up. And I have missed you. So I'm so excited that I'm going to get a chance to talk to you live next week. Our next live shows, we're going to have Team Popverse at Florida SuperCon and Anime Los Angeles at the same time coming up. Full details of that will be shared here with you very, very soon. But we're doing a double header coming up, and I'm so excited to be a part of it. And I'm so excited for how this is going to reach out to viewers and listeners and readers all over the world. As always, I have been your video producer and host, Ashley Victoria Robinson, here in the Popverse. Thank you so much for joining me today. While you're here, why not click subscribe? Click on that little notification bell so you never miss a single thing that I or anybody else is getting up to here in the Popverse. All right, my friends, this has been such a wonderful time. I can't wait to see you live next week. I miss you all so much. Stay safe. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.